Good morning. This is Send 7 World News in 7 minutes. I'm Stephen Devincenzi. Today is Monday, the 29th of June, 2026. Starting in the Americas today, in Venezuela, the death toll from earthquakes last Wednesday has risen to over 1,450. However, this number is still expected to greatly rise as thousands more people are missing. The United States Geological Survey has said that over 10,000 people could have died. Many people are believed to be trapped under fallen buildings. Rescue teams from around the world have flown to Venezuela to help in rescue operations. However, as it has now been 5 days since the earthquakes, the chances of finding survivors is small. Bolivia has ended its currency's peg to the US dollar, allowing it to float for the first time in 15 years. During the peg, $1 US was traded for 6.9 bolivianos. Yesterday, the central bank website showed an exchange rate of about 9.7 bolivianos to the dollar, suggesting that the currency has lost about 30% of its value compared to other currencies. Europe. Serbia's president, Alexander Vucic, has said that he will resign in the next few weeks. Vucic also said that Serbia will hold early parliamentary and presidential elections. There have been anti-government protests in Serbia for 18 months, largely against perceived corruption. Vucic has been either president or prime minister for 12 years. Across Europe, temperature records have been broken as the heat wave moves from Western Europe to Central Europe. In Germany, the record for the highest temperature ever recorded was broken 3 times over the last 3 days, with the city of Saarbrücken in the west recording 41.3 degrees on Friday, and then a village in the east recording 41.5 degrees on Saturday, and yesterday a record 41.7 degrees was recorded in another village in the east. Denmark set a record high temperature of 37 degrees in the city of Aarhus on Saturday, and Czechia also recorded its hottest day in history, recording 40.9 degrees close to Prague. Slovakia's capital city, Bratislava, recorded its hottest ever night on Friday. In Hungary, over 10,000 people joined the Gay Pride event in Budapest this weekend. Last year, the Hungarian parliament voted to ban the event. However, it was held illegally. This year, under the new government of Prime Minister Peter Magyar, the event was permitted. A Ukrainian attack has hit an oil refinery in Russia's Krasnodar region, close to the occupied peninsula of Crimea, where there are continuing reports of people attempting to leave over the last week. Krasnodar Governor Benjamin Kondratiev said that one person was killed in the attack. Yesterday, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that Ukraine's attacks were causing fuel shortages, but said that the shortages were not critical. In Ukraine, Russian attacks killed at least 2 people in the city of Zaporizhia and 1 person in the region of Kharkiv yesterday, according to local officials. On the front lines, Ukraine now claims to have killed, captured, or seriously injured over 1.4 million Russian soldiers. In France, 11 people died yesterday when a plane being used for parachuting crashed. Asia. The United States and Iran have both launched attacks this weekend in the biggest escalation since they signed the Memorandum of Understanding 2 weeks ago. The United States said that Iran hit a commercial ship in the Strait of Hormuz on Friday, and because of that, the US said it had hit Iranian missile and drone sites and radar stations. In response, Iran said that it had targeted US bases in the Gulf region. The US attacked Iranian sites again on Saturday. When asked about whether the ceasefire was still in place, US President Donald Trump didn't answer yes or no.
I don't like the fact that they took a shot yesterday, actually 4, we knocked down 3, at a ship. Not an Allied ship, but a ship, a very expensive ship, and it was fine, but it took a little beating. They shouldn't be doing that, so you'll find out.
At the time of recording this episode, the news company Axios was reporting that Iran and the US had agreed to stop attacks and that representatives would meet in Qatar tomorrow, according to an anonymous US official. In China, a small aeroplane crashed into a skyscraper in Beijing, killing the pilot and injuring 13 people in the building. In Thailand, an Australian man has been arrested after the body of a 17-year-old girl was found in a suitcase. Thai officials have charged the man with murder, child abduction, and abduction of a minor for sexual purposes. Africa. Burkina Faso has said that it is cutting diplomatic relations with France. Communications Minister Pingdwende Ouedraogo said that this was because France was interfering in its internal affairs, France had neo-colonial ambitions, and that France was supporting terrorists. Burkina Faso gained independence from France in 1960, and more recently France was involved in operations with the Burkinabe military against Islamist jihadist groups. However, since a military coup in 2022, the military junta has been distancing itself from France. Responding to Burkina Faso's decision to cut diplomatic ties, the French Foreign Ministry said, France regrets this hostile and unfounded decision, which illustrates the worrying drift of the Burkinabe authorities. Cape Verde is still in the Football World Cup. This is the first time that Cape Verde has qualified for the World Cup, and they drew all 3 of their group matches against Spain, Uruguay and Saudi Arabia. The World Cup is now in its knockout phase. Cape Verde, the island country of just 500,000 people, will play against Argentina, the reigning world champions, on Friday. A massive thank you to Dinesh in the UK, Ernest in Spain, and Erno in Germany for becoming our newest supporters. This podcast is made possible by our incredible supporters who also have access to all of our transcripts, vocabulary lists, Wednesday worksheets, and Friday world news quizzes. We also give 10% of our profit to highly effective charities. More information at send7.org. Tomorrow you will be with Ben Mallet. Have a great day.